Hello, welcome to the Kitchen Spy. My name is Kate and here's another Meals of the Week video. I hope that this video finds you safe and well. It's been a funny old week, I think, in terms of where we are on lockdown. We've got Wales is still on lockdown until the 9th of November, and then on Thursday this week England goes down into a full lockdown for a month. So it's all very all very unsettling, but I hope that you are safe and well wherever you are. I really do hope that, and I hope that you enjoy this video about what we've eaten this week. So on Saturday I made I'm trying to use stuff up from the freezer, and this is a pork fillet that I've had in the freezer. So I got it out, defrosted it, and then I just rubbed some harissa paste all over it and seasoned it well with salt and pepper. And I just roasted that in the oven to serve with some chickpea stew and also some other things that I've got in the freezer, which was some beetroot rosties, which I made a batch of quite a while ago, obviously within the dates that it's sensible to eat things out of the freezer. So this is it all served up. So the chickpea stew, I think I'm going to do a recipe for this. It can either be a soup or a stew, obviously depending on how much stock you put in it. But this is it was a really nice meal. It looks a bit odd, I think, but so altogether that came to 431 calories, and it was really tasty. And of course, you could serve that with any meat, although this pork fillet, I wanted to just use it up. And it was surprisingly tasty with just the harissa rubbed onto it. So it just goes to show you don't need to do anything very technical, really, to get something that's really tasty. So that was what we had on Saturday. And then on Sunday, because we're in lockdown and our local can do takeaways, but not eat in, we decided to support our local pub, the Trout, and we had a takeaway roast dinner. So I had the beef, and that Yorkshire pudding is just a normal Yorkshire pudding. My husband had a gluten-free Yorkshire pudding, but there were I had two massive slices of beef on my plate, and that was plenty, and there were still three massive slices of beef left in the tray, and I had those for just a sandwich later on in the day, actually. So yeah, the Trout lunches are just completely awesome, and all of their food is really good. In fact, we had two takeaways from them this week, so we're just trying our hardest to support the local shops when we can, the local shops and businesses when we can. So I don't really know how many calories this was, but it was Sunday and I didn't eat much else all day, so apart from obviously the beef that I talked about earlier. And then on Monday we had a stir fry. So my husband cooked this. So this is a chicken stir fry, and again really tasty. I can't seem to get noodles at the moment. I can't seem to get the thicker gluten-free rice noodles. I can get the thin, the wafer thin one. Not wafer thin, what do I mean? Like, well, you know what I mean, the really thin noodles. But I don't like those very much, and I wanted the thicker ones, but I just can't get them. So we had this served with rice. So it was a chicken stir fry where he marinated the chicken, and we did add a sachet of hoisin sauce in there, the gluten-free hoisin sauce that comes in sachets, and altogether that was 336 calories per portion, and there was actually enough left over to have for lunch on one of the days in the week, which is always a bonus. I think leftovers make just a really great lunch. Then on Tuesday I made these bean burgers. So this is a mixture of black-eyed beans and kidney beans, and I just blitzed them all up together in the food processor with some coriander, some chili, some garlic, some cumin powder and some paprika as well. And so I just mixed that all together and then used an egg to bind it, although they were very crumbly and I probably should have used 2 eggs, but I just used the one, and it was very tasty anyway. So with these kind of burgers, what I do is I brown them off on the pan, and then I put them in the oven to cook all the way through, or to warm all the way through. And when I did that, I just topped it with mozzarella and a sprinkling of paprika on top as well. just to make it a bit more interesting. So that came to 354 calories, including that nice big salad there as well. So that was a really low calorie and very tasty meal, and I got some burgers for the freezer as well. Then on Wednesday we had cod loin, which was just plain roasted in the oven with a lemon slice on top, and then served that with some rice and asparagus. And that rice is the Tilda, I think it's Caribbean rice, and it's got kidney beans in it and a bit of flavouring, and it's really nice actually. I got mine from Aldi, I think, when it was in the middle aisle, but I've seen it in other supermarkets since. So yeah, that all came to 375 calories, and again, that was really tasty, much more tasty than it looks. It looks a bit bland, but yeah, it was good. And I'm really enjoying this cod loin that I'm getting at the moment from Asda, because the pieces are actually quite sizable and thick, so that you feel like you've really eaten something quite substantial, even though it's quite low in calories. On Thursday, inspired by and rocking my inner what's for tea, Cheryl, I made mince and tatties. So I've never really done this before. I mean, I suppose it's like a deconstructed cottage pie to a certain extent, but it was just delicious. I mean, really, really good. So yeah, I know Cheryl and her family really enjoy that too, and I'm sure this is now going to become a firm favourite in our house. So I just served that with some mashed potato and some baby corn and also some green beans. Now, I've been a bit sniffy about baby corn for years, like saying, oh, I don't like it, it's bland or whatever. But I bought some the other day for a change, and I actually really like it. So I'll probably be eating more of it now. I don't think I like it very much raw, but I do like it as a vegetable, and it just mixes it up a bit from the vegetables that we eat normally. And that came to 458 calories, and it was delicious. And then on Friday, second takeout of the week, and this is really unusual for us. We don't do this very often, and I've got two in 1 week on one video. And this was fish and chips from the Trout. So I didn't count the calories on this, obviously, but I know it's going to be hefty, but I lost weight this week anyway, because it's all about balance. It really is all about what you do most of the time. If you can stick within your calorie counting by just cutting back on some other stuff, you can really have whatever you want. So this is fish chips and mushy peas. I don't know how many calories, but it was lovely, and it was a good start to the weekend. So if you're leaving at this point, thanks very much for watching. And if you're staying on, I just wanted to share some local scenes with you, because obviously we are in lockdown in Wales. So our lockdown actually ends next Monday on the 9th of November. So it's all a bit weird again. The main roads are really quiet. This is a main arterial route in Wales and close to where we live, obviously, because we're just walking around where we live. But I just thought I would show you our walk, and you can see some beautiful clouds there in the sun. I love it when the sun's beams come down, it just feels really special. Anyway, so we have like a little circuit that we can do, and this is, as I say, in mid Wales. So no sea to look at, no cliffs or anything, but still lots of beautiful countryside. It's very rural here. You can see the sheep moving there. There was our friend who's the farmer there was moving his sheep. And yeah, big bales of silage ready to feed the animals for the winter. And then in this field we've got the sheep. And I think I'm right in saying that these are Beulah speckle-faced sheep, or at least hill sheep, and you can see in there, and I'm going to try and show you in greater detail, but you can see that there's a ram in there with them, so that you can see he's the big boy there. So he's got all his girls, and obviously this is a time which they call here, I'm no expert, but they call it tupping, which is when they put the rams to the sheep ready to get the lambs for in the spring. Anyway, so yeah, again, this is a field just above where we live, and you can see that the countryside is just so beautiful. We are really blessed. I mean, to be fair, in terms of being locked down, if you're going to be locked down anywhere, this is not a bad place. And what you can see over there with the sun on that is Epint, and we've had videos of that before. Anyway, so there's just some local Mid Wales footage for you, and I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope that takes you out of whatever space you're locked down in at the moment for just a few minutes. So thanks very much for watching. If you've got this far, I really appreciate your support. As always, if you've got any comments, of course, I'll happily respond to them. It might take a few days or even a week, depending on how busy things are, because I only have weekends and evenings really to do this hobby as I work full time. So forgive me if the responses are delayed, but I do get back to everyone eventually. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you are a subscriber, thank you for your support as always. And if you're not yet a subscriber, there is a subscribe button that will be popping up soon. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, because that does actually help the channel and me. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. You take care. See you soon. Stay safe. Look after you and those that you love. Bye bye.